Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to talk about how to play note 2, 3 and 4 of the second octave. But before we go over those, let's go over the first octave real quick as a review. So in some of my previous videos I mentioned how to play the first octave. All you gotta do is just make the sound tu, u or pu to be able to play the first octave. But here I drew a diagram for a more precise definition and allow you to visualize how the air goes down a lot better. So with this, with the first octave, you want slow airspeed coming slightly down, and when you have when you have slower airspeed and a bigger aperture or your lip opening, the area that the air hits is gonna be bigger. That's why I drew a bigger circle on the edge of the flute, and then that allows you to play the first octave really resonant by having more air go into the flute. And then the problem with sometimes when you play from the first octave is that if you blow in the air too fast, it can actually cause the note to become sharp. And then if whenever you notice that the note becomes sharp, make your aperture bigger by increasing your lip opening. So by that, even though you blow in faster, it's still the air traveling out is still tend to slow down because it's more you have more area to cover. And this also very helpful, especially when you play some songs that have a lot of notes from the second octave, or just a lot of high notes in general. After you play those high notes for a period of time, your embouchures tend to be stuck in that position. So just say for example you play a bunch of like high notes and suddenly bam you go into the low note, especially when you go into note 5 and note 6 of the first octave. You play too many high notes, your embouchure is going to be stuck in that position, and when you blow into these two notes especially, they're going to sound sharp, and they might not even sound like the first octave at all. You might just actually blow the second octave for these two notes. So whenever you hear that happening, slow down for a little bit, replay it, but this time when you get to the low notes, make a conscious effort to make your aperture bigger and to adjust your embouchure as necessary. Now for the second octave, it's pretty much the opposite of the first octave. So you have a faster airspeed, a smaller aperture. As you can see here where where I drew more lines indicating there's more air coming in. And then the area cover also tend to be smaller. And so that's why the area where you blow into the edge of the flute, you have to be a little bit more precise this time around. You can't just just blow it out and expect the note to sound. You can achieve the same effect with more air, but that's not preferred. What you want is that you want a little bit more precision when you're blowing out your air, so that allows you to control how you play your note. And then more air goes outside the flute, but the air that do go inside is gonna be faster, and they bounce around a lot faster, and make the note sound better. And for the second octave, what you want to do is that instead of just increasing the air speed alone, by you can play a lot of notes in the second octave by just having really fast air speed by blowing out really hard. But what you want is to be able to control your embouchure, so when you blow, you can easily adjust your dynamics and adjust how the notes play. You can play sometimes you can play the low notes not as loud, or you can play them really loudly. But that's the one advantage of controlling your embouchure, because by doing that, it allows you to play your music more expressively. Now, a good exercise for you to do that is slowing from the first octave into the second octave. So, for example, so just say you start from the first octave, the note 5, you blow the air, but this time you don't you don't tongue, you don't do anything. You're just using both your air and your embouchure alone to change the octave. So that's what I did by doing that. It allows you to just say you have note 5 and you go back down note 5, and you go back up into note 5 again of the first or second octave individually, and by doing that it gives you more control. It's to be honest, it's a good exercise in general for you to across all notes of the first and second octave. Alright, now let me demonstrate note 2, 3 and 4 by slowing from from the first octave into the second octave. So these, as you can see, these three notes I play, I actually didn't blow that much at all. I from the airspeed that I have from the first octave, I maybe increase the airspeed by about maybe 30 to 50%. But I don't completely blowing out everything like really hard, just trying to get those notes. What I want to do is just blow to that range where I know that the note is going to go into the second octave, and take some time to prepare myself before I jump the octave. So what I mean by that is that's just say for each note, for each octave, they have a range of how much air you can blow before you go into the next octave. So now you notice how when I get to that, the note 6 doesn't sound anymore. It's suddenly that it start becoming a little bit the note just like it get to that range where it's almost hit the second octave, but I didn't blow enough air to force it to break the octave, and that's why it kind of hover there, and it still stay there. It doesn't sound. By exploring that range, it gives you more. It gives you more. I would say it gives you a better idea of where the range is. So if you want to control your music and to play to that volume, to increase the volume without worrying about going to the second octave, find that range and how to control your temperature and your airspeed, and you should be able to play those notes pretty easily. All right, thank you for watching, guys. I'll see you guys in the next video.